Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a little part two to this teaser trailer because if you watch my first part, this is gonna be part two. If you watch my first part, it was just kind of an analysis of the teaser trailer. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna do like a little breakdown, and there are some hints within this movie that I didn't cover the first time. So this is going to be a kind of a part two of what I think Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker might be. So here we go. Let's take a look at this trailer again, and let's see if we can take away some more hints from this movie. Okay, so here's Rey in the desert. Let me pause this for a moment, guys. Okay, so there's Rey in the desert. Now, in my first part, I was thinking maybe she was on Luke's planet of Tatooine. I'm kind of second guessing myself now because I think this might be her home planet of Jakku, because there's been so much talk about Jakku and about what is Jakku. Jakku is in the middle of nowhere, and why is Jakku is so important, so significant. I think we can take a hint from the very first movie, guys, from The Force Awakens. Do you guys, I'm sure you guys remember the scene where Rey was on her speeder, and then it showed you a glimpse of the Star Destroyer. Remember, it had landed on her planet? Okay? So, I'm thinking there was a lot of debris that from the previous Star Wars movie that landed on her planet. Not only the Star Destroyer, remnants of the Star Destroyer, well, the whole Star Destroyer pretty much, and also if you watch this teaser trailer, guys, you'll see towards the end of the trailer there's a piece of the Death Star as well. Now, is the piece of the Death Star on her planet? Did it land on Jakku? And towards the end, you're going to hear Palpatine. I think it's Palpatine laughing. It could be Snoke. I had to think about it. Could it be Snoke laughing, or is it Palpatine? So let's watch this trailer again, guys.
Passed on all we know.
Okay.
1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
Okay, now there has to be some kind of connection between Rey and Kylo. Now, like I said, because there were remnants and debris of the last Star Wars, which I think was the Return of the Jedi, right? Where a lot of Star Destroyers were destroyed and the Death Star was destroyed finally, I think, in Return of the Jedi, right? Could there have been a possibility, being that we hear Palpatine's voice, could there be a possibility that Palpatine could have survived? And if he did survive, was he able to father children? And could a child, could Rey be the offspring of the Emperor, of Palpatine? Is it possible? Or if Palpatine didn't exist, or if he didn't survive, then is it possible that Darth Vader ended up on Jakku, living out of the Death Star, possibly, and maybe creating a family on Jakku somewhere, and maybe it's a possibility that Rey could be the daughter or maybe the granddaughter of Darth Vader. Okay, so let's continue watching the trailer. That's just kind of a theory, guys, because there's something special about this planet Jakku. If this planet is not Tatooine, Luke's home planet, then it's possibly Jakku. So there's something on Jakku that connects Rey and the Skywalker lineage. So there's some kind of hidden secret, guys, and there is also a possibility too that she's maybe not a Palpatine, maybe she's not a daughter or granddaughter of Darth Vader. Maybe Leia had a relationship with somebody else, and maybe that is Leia's daughter. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but the actor who played Kylo Ren said that in one of his tweets that he referred to Rey as a princess. Okay? Now, I don't know if there is a connection. It seems like there's always been a connection between Leia and Rey. Like there's something between them. There's something that Leia knows that that maybe Luke didn't know, and I think Han somewhat knew. And if you guys watched The Force Awakens, there were seeds planted in there where he says to Rey, Han Solo was like a father to you, right? So is it a possibility that Kylo and Rey could be related? They could be brother and sister. That Rey is possibly a Skywalker, and that this is the rise of Skywalker, the rise of Rey.
Always be with you. No one's ever really gone.
Now that voice right there, guys, is that the laughter of Palpatine? Because a lot of people are saying that's Palpatine. But could it be also the laughter of Snoke? Could Snoke still be alive? It's to me, it doesn't make any sense to bring Snoke into the story in the beginning, and then with Rian Johnson killing off Snoke in The Last Jedi. Could there have been some way that he could have been revived somehow? Could Snoke still be alive? I think the possibility of Snoke being alive and continuing on the saga is more likely. Why, if Palpatine has been alive all this time, what the hell has he been doing? Was Snoke the apprentice of Palpatine? And if Palpatine, or excuse me, if is Snoke the apprentice, or no, excuse me, is the Emperor? Yeah, is Snoke the apprentice of the Emperor? Could that have been a possibility? And if the Emperor has been alive this long, why has he been hiding? And because when we seen him in the Return of the Jedi, we assumed that he was dead because Darth Vader picked him up, threw him over the rails, and then we assumed that he died, right? So, if Snoke, there's a possibility that Snoke still could be alive, and that laugh is probably not Palpatine's. It probably is Snoke's laugh. It sounds like Palpatine, but at the same time, it could be Snoke's laugh as well. So that's my whole thing, guys. Let me go back real quick. Let me forward back to. So the remnants of the Death Star, if it had landed, if it had landed on Jakku, then there's some kind of connection between Rey, Jakku,
1,000 generations
and the Empire. Okay?
But this is your fight.
So is Rey a Skywalker? Is she a Palpatine? I always thought, guys, I always felt like she was the daughter or possibly the granddaughter of Obi-Wan. That's still a possibility, but with this title, The Rise of Skywalker, I think is trying to throw us off. I think they're trying to make Rey look like she's a Skywalker when she really might not be. That's my guess, guys. What do you think? And there's the lightsaber. So she, in The Last Jedi, Luke's lightsaber was destroyed. So somehow she reconstructed a new lightsaber. How? I have no idea. So I'm kind of curious to know how she reconstructed Luke's lightsaber, or if she got a new lightsaber from somewhere. I have no idea, but it looks like Luke's lightsaber. And that also, being that she does have Luke's lightsaber, that also does kind of add to, well, maybe she is a Skywalker if she does have Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Let me pause that right there, guys. I want to apologize for the glare. That's just the sun. The sun is bright, and also it helps with copywritten infringement as well. And I always believed that she was a Kenobi. I don't know why. If you look back at The Force Awakens, there are so many indications that she could have been the daughter or granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's still a possibility, but now it's kind of looking like she could possibly be a Skywalker some way, shape, or form. She could be Luke's daughter. She could be Leia's daughter. She could be Darth Vader's daughter or granddaughter somehow. So somebody was getting busy with somebody. Now, I don't know when Kylo was fighting somebody right there. I don't know who he was fighting. There's supposed to be the Knights of Ren in this movie. So how much of a big part do they play in this movie? How are they connected to Kylo and possibly Rey? There could be another plot twist in this movie somehow, some way, in some shape or form. Or maybe one of the Knights of Ren could be the son of Palpatine. Maybe, who knows? This J.J. Abrams can take this movie in so many different directions, guys.
We'll always be with you.
So let's pause it right there, guys. So that looks like the Death Star. Okay. So is the Death Star on the planet of Jakku, or is that Death Star somewhere else? Has it landed somewhere else? And what connection? Why would they put the Death Star? So you see, let me go back, guys. Go back here. Sorry.
We'll always be with you.
So right there, guys, I don't know how well you guys can see that. There is Rey, Finn, Poe, and then there's C-3PO, Chewbacca, and then BB-8. And they're all standing on the hill, and they're all looking at the possible remnants of the Death Star. What connection does the Death Star have to this movie, to this saga, to Rey's life, to her connection to the Skywalkers? There has to be some kind of connection. Like I said before, did Palpatine survive and he was able to create another life on this planet where they're at, or Jakku? Did the remnants of the Death Star land on Jakku, and maybe the Emperor was able to salvage a life and find a woman and create an offspring? And is that offspring Rey? Is there a possibility that she is a Palpatine? I have no idea, guys, but this right here, this scene right here is going to be very pivotal, because all three of them, all the three main characters are walking, and then they come across the remnants of the Death Star, what I believe is the Death Star. And then you pretty much have all the main characters in this movie. You have C-3PO, you have Chewbacca, you have BB-8, you have Rey, you have Finn, and you have Poe all in the scene, and they're looking at the Death Star.
No one's ever really gone.
And then you hear what Luke said? Luke said, no one is ever really gone. No one is ever really gone. So does that mean Palpatine survived? And then after you saw that Death Star, the remnants of the Death Star, you hear this. So guys, I am still at loss. I've watched this trailer numerous times. This is part 2 of my little analysis of the Rise of Skywalker teaser trailer. There is a possibility that she is a Palpatine, being that we heard Palpatine's voice. She can also be a Skywalker. But here's the thing with the title. It says The Rise of Skywalker. Why would Rey, if Rey defeats Kylo and Rey's a Skywalker, then where does her story go? How does her story continue on? I think in order for Star Wars movie to continue on, you need the bad guy, right? So you need the bad guy to live. And Kylo is the only Skywalker that we know of that is still alive. So Kylo has to live in order for this title to make sense. The Rise of Skywalker. Right? So there's my little analysis, guys. My little theories here and there. Tell me what you guys think of this teaser trailer. Give me some of your ideas, your input of where this story is going. Okay, guys? I've already reached the 18-minute mark. If you guys been watching my video and listening to me ramble on, thank you. If you guys like this little analysis, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to receive more cool reviews like this. And there you guys have it. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!